Today I have part 2 for you in a series showing you how to make these personalized polymer pendants. This is so much fun because you can completely personalize them with any kind of phrases or sayings or verses that suit you. Hi there, Sandy here. Welcome to another polymer clay video at keepsakecrafts.net. In part 1 of this video, I showed you how to stamp and fill bezels with polymer clay so that you have these personalized stamped saying pendants. And now I'm going to show you how to finish them. This one I have already finished, and all you need to do when it comes out of the oven is get some kind of tool in there and you'll be able to pop it out. There's usually one corner that's maybe not as tight as the rest. And you can see that's starting to come up. And then it just pops right out. Well, the first thing that I want to do here is add a little bit of paint so that you can see the words better. If you're going to add a dark background, then you can always use white or a light color of paint. I have a white background here, so I'm going to use just a little bit of brown paint. For this one I used black, and that's kind of a heavy body paint, so I'm just going to add just a little water to thin it down. Now I don't want to get paint in the area where I stamped the bird, so I'm going to use a nice small paintbrush and just put the paint over the letters. So just very deliberately apply it. Once you have it painted, just carefully use a paper towel to wipe up the excess, and always fold it over and switch to a clean spot. And I think that's a little light, so I think I need to mix a little bit more paint and make it not quite so thin. Now if you wanted to keep this pristine white and you were concerned about the paint staining your clay, you could, once it's all dry, just give it a light sanding. Alright, one more time. I can just feel that that's going into the recesses better and sticking. I like being able to pop it out of the bezel while I do all my finishing, and that way I don't have to worry about getting paint and stuff on my bezel. It stays nice and clean. So again, a clean part of the paper towel, and notice I'm wiping away, that's much better, from my other color of stamp stuff. And notice when I went over that again, I just streaked more brown paint on it. You really do need to find a clean spot on your paper towel every time. Much better. This is just a paper towel with a little bit of water on it, just to kind of get off the excess brown. How much fun would it be to do these with a favorite line from a poem, a favorite quote from a book or a movie, or something that's just meaningful, maybe something that's an inside joke between you and someone. There, now that's really nice. That now you can see those words. Now you could just leave this like that, but I like to add a little bit more to it using gilders pastes. Now this is white, so it's pretty predictable, but on something like this, I mentioned in part 1 of this series that I stamped the cat with purple ink, and it didn't really show up purple. You can kind of see on the edge here the original color of the clay, and the cat just didn't stand out, so I wanted to add some gilders paste around it so that you could see it. But I wasn't sure how the gilders paste was going to look on this brown color of clay, and so what I did was I flipped it over and did a little experimenting. Over here is verdigris and iris blue, copper, antique gold. But one thing I discovered while playing and experimenting, here's patina. It's a nice light blue color that I use a lot. I just really love the color. But it didn't, right here you could see it over the brown. It didn't really read very well on the brown clay. It just looked kind of meh. But when I put silver down and then put the blue over it, then suddenly it got interesting. And the same with the iris blue. This is the iris blue all by itself. This is dark blue. And this is how it looks over the silver. And even, you probably can't even see the green, the verdigris that I put on there. But when I put it over the silver, suddenly you have something very interesting. So I went over the whole thing with silver and then went back with the mostly patina, but I put iris blue on the edges and just little tiny bits of the green verdigris on there. Now for this one, I want to keep it pretty light. I kind of like the pearl, but I want to give it something else. So I think I'm going to go with antique gold, but I'm not sure how it's going to look. So let's try the same thing. That's kind of nice. Wipe your finger off as best you can in between. Let's see. This is such a pretty color. I really love it. I think I'm going to do just a very light application of the gold, and then maybe some of the blue here and there. So see all this detail here that you stamped in with your stamp? You don't want to lose that, so you just got to go very lightly. Oh, I like that. It's got kind of a shimmer as you tilt it. Actually, I think I like the gold more around the edges. So you can build up layers and see how that's the same color, but it's darker on that edge now. The cat was kind of tricky because it's got a lot of interior space and just these little tiny details. And it was tricky, like getting the eyes without, and getting these legs without getting a bunch of the gilders paste in between the spaces. Actually, I did. But all you need to do is take some mineral spirits, paint thinner, I'll show you that in a moment, and clean it up after. Whoop, wait a minute, I'm doing gold. I like that. And then I think I'll add, oh, I got gold in my blue. Oh well. That's kind of interesting. Now the way this bird stamp is designed, it's not really a big deal that I have some of the gilders paste in the interior details. But it did matter on the cat because I had like smudges on top of and under the eyes that didn't look particularly good. And what I used was this. This is an orange wood stick that they use when they're doing your nails to kind of clean things up, and we're going to use it the same way. You'd be surprised at how much paint thinner this little bit of wood holds. So I dip it in, tap it off, and then just kind of rub. And you can see there's a lot on there. And then tap off the excess with your paper towel, because you don't really want to leave mineral spirits on your polymer clay. So wherever you need to, just rub, rub, rub until what you don't want on there is gone. And then blot the excess off with your paper towel. When you're done, you can just glue these back into your bezels. And I'm not sure that I'm in love with that blue, so I may go over it with other colors. But in the meantime, you've got the idea. This is how you can make and finish your own personalized polymer clay pendants. So I hope you enjoyed this and that you benefited and were inspired by it. If you're interested in supplies, click on the upper right or the lower left at the end of the video. That will go to my blog post, see the supply list with links to products, more information. And if you haven't subscribed, I hope you will. Click on the notification bell. I upload new videos 2 times every week. Happy creating. Bye-bye.